Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, July 3rd. So today I thought I would show you how I do my typical eyeshadow look for our July 4th Independence Day. Sorry, I'm not quite awake yet. It's about 6:40 in the morning. So yeah, let me show you how I do my crease-proof eyeshadow look. I don't have the best camera set up, so I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got. So let me start by showing you what kind of skincare I use. I don't use anything fancy. I've used the same things for like, I don't know, at least 5 years. So I have very oily skin, especially in the summertime. I get very oily. So I like to use my Neutrogena Clear Pore Oil Eliminating Astringent. And then I use the woven cotton rounds. They're exfoliating. It helps get all the, if I have any dry skin patches, it'll help get all those off. Sorry, my cat's in here. So I just gently exfoliate that into my skin. I do this every morning on the day that I'm going to wear makeup because, and I do this every night. I use this astringent every night as well. It helps just get rid of makeup residue. And even though I wore it at night, or used it at night to get rid of all the makeup and dirt, I do wear dry shampoo, so it will show up with dry shampoo on the cotton swab. So now I'm going to take another clean one and do it again. Just make sure I get all of the, if I have any more dry shampoo or dirt or anything on my skin, it helps just get it really clean. If you have sensitive skin, you might not like this because it does tingle. It doesn't really burn, but it does tingle quite a bit. So I just use that everywhere. You know, now my skin's clean. And I let that dry. And then I use, don't judge me. I mean, you can judge me if you want. I don't care. But I've used this for a long time. It's the Pond's Rejuveness. It's supposed to help with, it's an anti-wrinkle cream. I don't really have wrinkles yet. I will be 37 this year, but I don't have wrinkles yet. I just like using this because it really helps my makeup stay on a little bit longer, even though it's not meant for that. And even though I have oily skin, you definitely need to make sure you're using some kind of skincare underneath your makeup, because I've learned over the years, if your skin is dry before you put makeup on, your oil is going to come back faster versus if you already have a lotion or skincare underneath your makeup, you're not going to get as oily because you're already hydrated. And then I make sure I put a little bit under my eyes. I don't put it on my forehead because I have bangs. Oh my god, my cats. Sorry. I don't put it on my forehead because I have bangs. My bangs cover my forehead, so I don't put any skincare hardly ever on my forehead, and I don't put makeup on my forehead because my bangs are going to cover it anyways. Okay. On to the eyeshadow look. So I have 2 eyeshadow primers I like to use because I have very oily eyelids. This is my favorite. This is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Eyeshadow Base. You can find this at Walmart. I don't think Ulta sells it anymore. I used to get it from there, but I noticed lately that it's not there anymore, and I'm not quite sure why. But when I can't find this, a good backup is the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. It works just as good. I like the NYX better. I like the consistency of it better. And before I put that on, I learned a trick. Sorry, I got just real uncomfortably close to the camera. Oh well. I learned a trick. I don't remember which YouTuber suggested doing this, but I learned a trick from a YouTuber to start with some kind of setting powder. So this is the NYX-HD finishing powder. It's the green one. So put a little tiny bit. I just go dab in once on my eyes before I put my eyeshadow primer on. So I do that. And then I will do the NYX-HD eyeshadow base. Blend that in with your fingers. I put it up to my eyebrows too, because it'll help my my eyebrow pencil to last longer as well. So I sweep and I dab to make sure I get it all over my eyelid. Then after that, I wait a few seconds before I do this next step. I'll take the NYX powder again, 2 dabs, dab it over the primer. This just helps ensure that your makeup, your eyeshadow is locked in all day. Okay. And then after that, I go in. I'm going to use some matte eyeshadow today with a shimmer over top. I don't have a red eyeshadow, so I'm going to kind of give the illusion that I have red. So I'm going to use a matte color first, and then I'll put a shimmery-ish one on top. So I do the name's sharpened off, but this is the NYX Chubby Pencil. This is in the white, so it's milk. So I will put that on my finger and just put it all over my eyelid. These help your eyeshadow be more opaque in color, and it'll help them stick better, and it'll last all day long. I've done this for years. I've used the same routine, and it works great for all eyeshadow colors. I use the white one when I use matte colors, and then I use their shimmery, I think it's called Yogurt. It's like a champagne color. I use that underneath shimmery eyeshadow, because again, it does the same thing. It helps my shimmery eyeshadow be more opaque and last all day. So then that's on everywhere. I don't put a lot on. I just make sure I cover it almost all the way up to my eyebrow. So I'm doing red, white, and blue. Start with this one. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon 5-color palette in Walking on Eggshells. This is an off-white. So I'll start with that first on the inside. I just really just press it in. I use my brush first to get the initial color put on. And then I'll go in with my ring finger and add more. I don't know why I do that. I've just always done that. I know it does help the color be a little bit more opaque when you use your finger like that versus a brush alone. So there's my white color. It's kind of white. It's more off-white. But then I have this single eyeshadow. I got it in my Ipsy bag. I have no idea what color it is or who it's by. It's like a champagne ivory-ish color. It's not quite white. It's more glittery than the other one. I'm going to put that right over top. I'm not a fan of white eyeshadow. I never did that look growing up. That's why I don't have white. It reminds me of the 90s. Don't get me wrong, I love the 90s, but I don't like the white eyeshadow look. So now it calmed it down so it's not so like in your face white. So now I'm going to work on the red side first. I'm going to do my left eye on the outside. So I'm going to start with these LA Color matte eyeshadow. This is in the shade Forbidden. Forbidden. It's like a dark maroon color. So I'm going to use my ring finger. I don't use a brush when I do the outside of my eyeshadow. I always use my fingers. And I just push it down. Especially with matte eyeshadow, because if you use a brush with matte eyeshadow, it doesn't show up as opaque. Using your finger helps it be more opaque. I haven't used this color in a while. That's actually really pretty. And because it's a cheaper matte eyeshadow, it's by LA Colors. It's not the best matte, so you'll have some inconsistencies in the color. And I don't care. That's fine with me. I'm just going to put another color over it. Putting another color over it will give the illusion that it's more red than it is maroon. Normally, in order to do that, you would put either a not quite burnt orange, but you would either use like an orangey shade or a pink shade to help it look a little bit more red. And I bring it down past the corner. Okay, so after I do that, I'm going to take a blending brush. This type of blending brush. It's not very big. It's about the size of a pea. I'm going to take a little bit of that maroon color, just a little bit, and sweep it just on the outside and help blend it a little bit better. It's not going to be perfect right now. And blend it all the way out. My camera does not show it true, like what it looks like in real life. My camera adds a lot of warmth to colors. Like it's way more, it stands out more than what you see. So there's that. So now I don't know if I want to use an orange over it or if I want to use pink. Let me swatch on my hand and figure it out in 1 second. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to use an orange color. I thought I had a brighter pink blush, but I don't. So I'm going to grab the LA Colors Peach Fizz palette. And I'm going to use this bottom middle color. It's not a true orange. It's a little bit deeper than a true orange. This is true orange. This is a little bit deeper. So I'm going to put some on my ring finger and go right over this And I'm not using a whole lot because I still want some of that burgundy to kind of show through. So it'll help give the illusion that it's more red. Probably can't tell. I'll take a picture and better lighting afterwards so y'all can see. That helped it look a little bit more red. Okay. I'm satisfied with that for now. So now I'm going to move to the blue side. LA Colors. It's their Blueberry Blast palette. I love these eyeshadow palettes. They're so good. I'm going to start with this bottom matte blue. It's like a cobalt blue. I'm going to use that. And then over top of it, I'm going to put the very middle color. It's a shimmery blue. So on my right hand, I'm going to grab that cobalt blue and put that down first. So pretty. I don't know why so many people don't like blue eyeshadow. I think it's so pretty. I love blue eyeshadow. I'm just doing the same thing I did on my left side. Do it about halfway. And then I'm going to wipe off that same blending brush. I went a little bit more than half, but that's okay. I'll reapply some of the white. And then when you're done doing your finger, take a little bit on your blending brush and blend it out. And I always go below and I really blow it out of the crease, because you'll see when I'm done, I will take a makeup wipe and sharpen this edge. I don't wear eyeshadow, I don't wear eyeliner. I don't like eyeliner. So I just take a makeup wipe and wipe it and really sharpen the edge so it looks like I'm wearing eyeliner. Okay, so there's a cobalt color. So now I'm going to put this middle color over top. Ring finger. It's so pretty. Put that right over top. It'll help deepen the blue a little bit. It'll give it a little bit of shimmer. Like I said, these LA Color eyeshadows, they're not the best eyeshadows, but I like them. They skip a little bit in color. They're not perfectly opaque, but I take the time and really blend them, and I really pack them on, and I make sure that I get them as blended as I can. So there's the blue. And I always do my eyeshadow before I do my foundation. It's so fascinating to me that I see so many YouTubers, makeup artists do their foundation first. Because a lot of the time, your eyeshadow is going to fall down below. So I do it before my foundation, then I take a makeup wipe and wipe the excess color away. I'm going to go back in with that orange shade on my left side. I forgot to put it in the crease. Need to bump it up a little bit. I used the same brush, I just wiped it off on a towel. I just kind of make sure that the blend looks the same. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in to that ivory color, wipe my finger off, ring finger, and go back and touch that up. And I kind of blend over the middle so it looks like an ombre. See how I ombre it? I'm going to do the same thing on the red side. It's pretty. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm going to take a clean new makeup wipe. I don't use these to take my makeup off at night because they kind of burn my eyes a little bit when I take eyeshadow off. But I use these Neutrogena Hydro Boost makeup wipes when I do my makeup. My favorite makeup wipes are the Aveeno in the green packaging. I like using those. You can judge me if you want. I know so many people hate makeup wipes. I love makeup wipes. I've used them forever. My skin likes them. They work great for me. So I wrap it around my index finger, start underneath. And then I kind of follow, when I sharpen this edge, I follow where my bottom lash line goes up. I just wipe it up. Like that. And then I try to get I try to match up as best I can on the left side. I'm not pulling really hard, but I'm like using medium pressure. And then I'll kind of go back a ways from the mirror and stare at it and see if they match. Look good to me. It's hard to tell, but there's that. Okay. So now after my eyeshadow's done, I do a weird order. I'm going to do my eyebrows. I normally use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Ash Brown, but I couldn't find it. So now I have the Maybelline Express Brow in Ash Brown. I don't like this as much as the NYX because the NYX is darker. So I start by doing a line underneath my eyebrow. Like I follow the shape of my eyebrow on both sides. Then on the inside, I kind of draw little lines. This eyebrow pencil works just as good as the NYX. It's essentially the same thing, but this tone, this ash brown, it's a little too light for me. This would work good for someone who has like medium brown hair or dark blonde. And then I just kind of do little strokes until it looks as natural as possible. I get it looking kind of crazy at first, and then I use the little spoolie on the end and kind of brush through it a little bit to soften it. I eventually would like to get microblading done because it's annoying having to fill in my eyebrows every day. My eyebrows are very thin. I plucked them in middle school. Oh my gosh, I can hear my cosmetology instructor yelling at me. It's not plucked. You don't pluck your eyebrows. I say plucked. So I over tweezed No, I overplucked them in middle school because that was the thing to do in the 90s. And so they never really grew back. Oops. There's that. Eyebrows, done. Okay, now I'm going to go on to mascara. Drink some coffee first. 1 second. Okay. I'm using a old school eyelash curler because I don't have very long eyelashes. I just wiggle it on there a little bit. And right now I'm using the new Maybelline Falsies surreal. Oh, I said super real. Oh my gosh. The Maybelline Falsies Surreal. I don't use waterproof. I don't like waterproof. I just have the blackest black. And I am a big fan of a lot of mascara. So I start by doing a quick coat. I do like 2 or 3 coats because I don't like my mascara. I like my mascara to look very thick. I don't necessarily want length. I don't like long eyelashes on me. I like them to look thick, and I do like my eyelashes a little clumpy. A lot of people don't like that, but I do. Oh, dang it. I got some. Shoot. Oh, crap. Oh, that's okay. Well, just got it on my red. That's okay. So my first coat, I initially just like to get my eyelashes where I guess where I want them. And I make sure they're nice and separated with the first coat. And like I said, I wear a lot. Make sure they look somewhat even. Okay, then that's the first coat. Let that kind of dry a little bit. So now I'm going into my foundation. I use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I am in shade Classic Ivory. Ooh, don't have very long. I love this foundation. I do not like the applicator. I don't like this. This is not sanitary, but I put it on the back of my hand. I don't put it directly on my face. So then I take my middle finger, dab some. I don't wear a lot of foundation. I don't like a lot of foundation. This foundation is very lightweight. Oh, good morning, neighbor, with your loud exhaust. It's a very lightweight. It's not medium coverage. It's less than medium, but it's not quite light. So I dab it on. Oh, I'm almost out of time. I take this type of brush. Stippulating brush, I think. It's by Real Techniques. I don't know if they make this anymore because I can't find it. Don't ask me how long I've had it. It's embarrassing how long I've had this. So I just gently, I dab to distribute the foundation everywhere, and then I do circular motions. it kind of reminds me of like a BB cream or CC cream. It's very lightweight and it doesn't give you a ton of coverage. I like my foundation to be very natural looking, but still I like it to fill in my pores, or not fill in my pores. I like it to, what's the word? Blur my pores. And this does a really great job of blurring pores because I have a lot of pores on my nose. It's just a genetic thing. My grandpa on my mom's side had really large pores. Again, I don't put foundation on my forehead. I do it gently under my eyes. And make sure you blend it as good as you can down your neck. I love this foundation. I've never in my life loved a foundation as much as I loved that. That is my favorite foundation I've ever used. And then after that, I just take this brush and dab it to make sure you don't see any lines. Make sure it's blended as good as you can. And then I'm going to add in more mascara. Let me pause this. I'm almost out of time on my camera, so I'm going to pause this, finish my mascara and blush. I use a mauve matte blush. I'll be right back. Now I'm finishing up my mascara. And like I said, I wear a lot of mascara. I like a lot of mascara. I like it to look like I wear lashes. I do not wear lashes. I don't like lashes. I don't wear lashes. I don't wear eyeliner. I don't do bronzer. I don't do highlighter. I'm just kind of, I was going to say very plain Jane with my makeup. Well, clearly I'm not because I'm wearing patriotic makeup today. But I don't do all the fancy stuff. So that's how I like my mascara. I put a lot on. I have 3 coats of mascara on. And I love this mascara. It's taken me a long time to find a mascara I love. I used to be a die-hard L'Oreal Voluminous, but my eyelashes have changed over the years. They've really thinned out over the years, and that mascara doesn't work for me anymore. It does once it starts to dry out. I think it's just too wet for me. I like a dry mascara that I can really put a lot on with, and it gets kind of clumpy. That's how I like my mascara. Okay. Now moving on to blush. I'm going to use my favorite OFRA blush in Rose. It's a mauve. I would not name this Rose. It's a mauve color. I'm going to use a flat blush brush. Get it on there. And I dab. I do the old school way of doing blush where you do the C. I dab and swipe. And I just do it on the high, like I don't do it on the apples of my cheek because I don't blush there naturally. When I do blush, like if someone makes me blush, I blush the middle of my eye and up. So I just put it where I naturally blush. And I'm almost 37, so I like a lot of blush. We were raised that way. to wear a lot of blush, and then I pinch it. I take a little bit of blush and I put it down the middle of my nose for that like sunburn look, I guess. I started that a few years ago and I like that look. And then after I'm done, all done with my makeup, I take that same flat brush, wipe it off on a towel, and kind of dab so it all blends in. And like I said, I'll take a picture when I'm done so you guys can see this better. But yeah, that's my makeup routine. And this eyeshadow will stay like this all day. Let me move you so you can see it better. It's my patriotic eyeshadow look. Because today is July 3rd, 2023. My foundation. So I like that foundation because it still looks like my skin. Like I have no foundation on my forehead. So you can see even on my forehead I have large pores. They're worse on my nose, and that foundation really blurs it very well. I will cover that up too. Ooh, speaking of covering that up, I got this Kevyn Aucoin, what is it? It's a foundation balm. I got it in my Ipsy bag. I use it as concealer. I don't use it as foundation. But I love this. And it came with this little tiny brush. If they sell this size, I hope they do. I use this to cover up my blemishes and my mosquito bites. I live in Michigan, so we have a ton of mosquitoes. Like this is shade Light. In this little brush, I just kind of do circular motions and dab. And look how quickly it covers that up. This stuff is amazing. This is the first I've ever used anything from him because his stuff is really expensive. And I don't buy expensive makeup. I just dab and do circular motions. It covers mosquito bites so well. I love this. I will probably buy this. Not probably. I am going to buy this because it covers blemishes and mosquito bites and let's see. I have like an old blemish scar right there. I'm going to take it and just lightly, it is pretty opaque, so a little bit goes a long way. See how it looks opaque? And I just lightly dabbed it. So just dab it and like do circular motions. It's a little too light for me, which is very surprising because I am a very pale person. Kind of blended it in a little bit better. It's a little light for me, so I am going to take my foundation brush and go back over it and kind of press it in to help it not look so pale. Okay, there's my makeup and my morning skincare and my makeup routine. I do this every day that I wear makeup. And you can do this eyeshadow routine for any color of eyeshadow, any technique of eyeshadow, except for glitter. You will need a glitter base. I think Wet n Wild has a really good glitter base. I don't use glitter that often, so you'll need a glitter base for glitter eyeshadow, but that's my foundation and eyeshadow routine. Like I said, you can do any color and it'll stay all day with these steps. So again, I use this, the NYX finishing powder in the green color. first on my eyelids. Then I do the NYX-HD eyeshadow primer, blend that in. Then I set it again with this powder. And then if I'm using any matte eyeshadow, I set it with the NYX Milk Jumbo Chubby Stick. If I use shimmer, I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo Chubby Stick in, I'm pretty sure this is yogurt. The name, oh, yep, it's yogurt. And it's a champagne color. And doing those steps will help make your eyeshadow last all day. So it is now 7:26. So I will take another picture. I'll take a picture now before I go to work. And then I'll take a picture when I get home. And you'll see that my eyeshadow will have very minimal creasing. And I have very oily eyelids. It's July 3rd in Michigan. I live in southern Michigan. It's very muggy and humid out. And I will show you that this will stay all day. It'll have very minimal creasing. Okay, let me take a picture and so you can see this color better. I forgot to mention, I do not use primer on my face before I do foundation. And I don't use a setting spray either. I find that when I use a primer, my skin gets more oily, even if I use a matte primer. I don't know why. I've tried so many. I just don't like using primers. And then I've noticed when I use a setting spray, my eyes, I think, are allergic to something in them because my eyes will burn and they'll sting towards the end of the day. And then my eyeshadow actually creases more when I use a setting spray. So I do like the Wet n Wild. Let me grab it. I really do like this for my face. If I can figure out how to keep it from getting on my eyes, this really helps your makeup stay all day if you have oily skin. It's just the Wet n Wild Natural Finish setting spray. I do like that, but it does bother my eyes. I wear contacts and I have very sensitive eyes, so I've tried covering it up, but somehow it still bothers me. But when I have used this, it does work really, really well. It is now the end of my work day. It is 8:15 on Monday, July 3rd. As you can tell, I'm like super oily on my forehead. And here's my eyeshadow. No creasing. I do not touch up my makeup during the day at all. I do not bring my makeup to work, hardly ever. The only time I do is when I'm doing something after work. So this is my makeup not being touched up. And it has not creased at all. It's now 9:26. So now I'm going to show you how I remove my makeup. So first step is I use these Aveeno makeup wipes. I have very sensitive skin, so these have always worked really good for me. I do this kind of aggressively because this mascara is a little hard to remove. I'm not rubbing super hard. I know makeup wipes are controversial, but I mean, they take makeup off, so I don't know why people are so against using them. I've used them for years and my skin's been fine. I always start with removing my eye makeup. I mean, it takes it off. it looks like I'm rubbing pretty aggressively, but I'm not. I do half, I fold it in half, like I guess 80s babies will know hot dog. I do it hot dog style. Then turn it around again. And then I'll start on my nose, cheeks, neck, chin, there's a YouTuber that I do follow that always says that makeup wipes just move makeup around your face. They don't actually remove it. I don't understand why they say that. Clearly it takes it off. I'm not doubting her because she is in the dermatology field. So I know there must be some truth behind it, but it's never not worked on me. I always use 2. Yeah. I love these makeup wipes. I used to use the other Aveeno wipes in the ivory and pink packaging, but those burn my eyes now. They used to be my favorite, but for some reason they just burn. Like if I took them and did this, my eyes would just start to water and burn really bad. But these don't do that at all. So yeah, there's the second one. Takes it all off. And then now, I'm gonna pause and go grab my other, I have 2 more steps. And these are the cotton rounds that I like. And then I use that Neutrogena Clear Pore Cleanser again. I do this every day that I wear makeup. I do not take this astringent or cleanser under my eye. It looks like I am, but I'm going right underneath because the stuff does burn your eyes. And then it gets off any other residue that you may have missed with the makeup wipe. I'm grabbing another one. I'm gonna do my forehead. Eyebrows. Yeah. Clean. And then my last step is using that Pond's Rejuveness again. You can get this at Walmart also. I buy the travel size because this lasts me a few months. I've bought the bigger one before, and that lasted me almost 6 months, and I felt the bigger one lasted me almost 6 months, and I kind of felt like that might not be so sanitary. Oh God, us women, we make some funny faces when we do our skincare routine and makeup. These are the only 2 things I use for my skincare. So, and my makeup wipes. That's it. That's all I use. And I have very sensitive, acne-prone skin, and using these 2 products, I started, this is my second bottle I've had since last year. Since using this twice a day, every time I wear makeup, my skin has been so much better, because I have really, really sensitive acne prone skin, and I break out once a month. If you know, you know. And right now, TMI, is that time, and I don't have any breakouts, and that's really weird. But they've gotten so much better since I started using the Astringent. It's awesome. It does burn a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. So I look a hot mess now. So there you go. There's my makeup routine and skincare routine. So I hope you all have a wonderful Independence Day tomorrow. Make good choices. Be safe. Have fun watching fireworks. Have fun if you're going to a cookout. Kayaking. Oh, I miss kayaking. I can't wait for my son to be older. So have a good one. Bye.